So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we got Rick. And Rick, I've interviewed Rick in the band before with another band, but now I'm interviewing him with his main band, Gray Skies Falling, and we're here to talk about the new album that's coming out on March 8th. So, first of all, Rick, good night. How are you?
Hey, how's it going there, Hector? Good seeing you again, man.
Yeah, when I got the promo and I saw the pic, I'm like, I know that dude.
Yeah, it's a very memorable, beautiful face I have.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
like,
kidding.
I remember that face, and
Yeah, yeah,
so it's great to talk to you again.
absolutely. Look forward to it.
This is a very different band from the last time we interviewed. It's totally different music. So Gray Skies Fallen, I listened to the album, and something that I really enjoyed about this album is the different vocal ranges that you have in a song. You have like doom metal, you have like almost like a some like extreme black metal vocals in some of the tracks, and then you have a song that straight up sounded like a 90s grunge meets like a southern
Cool.
rock type of vibe. So I'm like, I like it because it has a lot of variety. So yeah, and obviously, Great Skies Falling has been around for a while now. So this is your baby. You sing here and you play guitar. So tell me a little bit about the new album because I know it's been a while, right?
The last album came out right before the pandemic started, so it was late January 2020, and we had secured a deal with a very reputable label at that time, and that fell through as soon as COVID hit. They were like, "All right, we can't be putting records out," and so that last record, that was 4 years ago, and it seems like we're on a since we started. Our first record came out in '99, so it's and this is only
25
our
years, man.
what's that?
It's
Yeah,
25 years anniversary of the band.
the release of the new album on March 8th coincides with the 25th anniversary of the debut, which was March 12th, 1999. So it's 25 years. It's pretty crazy to me to think about that. Uh, and we're going to be commemorating that debut album this year too, as well. We'll talk about that later, but
Yeah.
the new album is the first one where our original guitar player Joe, who started the band with me, he came back. Joe's been in and out of the band a bunch of times over the years, but we always prefer him in, and we're happy to have him back. And now, you could. I think our last album was really good, called Dead Lands, and I think this album is that album to the next level, taking it to the next level now that we have Joe back.
Well, it's good to, it's like a full circle. You're coming full circle 25 years later, you got the guitarist back. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's good. And we gotta talk about the lead single, which there's a music video for, which was done by our good friend Greg Rossi, who was obviously in your band and who's been on my channel a few times. So it's the song "Knowing That You're There." First of all, that's a great track to end the record with. It's pretty emotional track, and the music video to it. Like people need to see the music video because there's like this person he's sleeping and he's like dreaming of someone. Then you have the waters. It's a great music
Yeah.
video and I saw the music video, and that's when I recognized you because I saw the
Oh,
picture, I wasn't sure, but then I saw the music video. I'm like, yeah, I know him.
he gets around, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's a Craig video. He's really stepped up his game when it comes to the video editing and creation end of things. He's always been creative in that fashion. I remember when we were kids. I've known Craig 30 years now, so that's also crazy to think about. 32 years or something. It's unbelievable. But we would run around with our camcorder and stuff, 100 years ago, and he would make little movies and things like this. So he's always been creative that way. So now he's able to with the modern technology, he could really let his imagination run wild, and that's it's to our benefit.
No, yeah, it's a great video, great visualizer, and it incorporates the band. So that song, because it's a the album to me, it's an album that feels like mournful but also hopeful at the same time. Now that you're here, that ends the album. Like, what are the themes that you explore on this track?
Well, that's a good point that you bring up there, because for 25 years, that's what people have been saying. It's like, the same kind of feeling people get, like mournful and, some kind of hope or something at the end there or whatnot. But people seem to get that same vibe with our stuff. This song, if we're going to be literal, I usually don't explain things but this one here is more about like a person um lending a hand to somebody that needs it, uh reassuring them that they're, serving a good purpose, and that they belong here and things like that. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like trying to talk somebody off a ledge, that might need some motivation or some encouragement, things of that nature. If you're being literal for that song, which, like I said, I don't usually get too literal, but that's what that one is. It's kind of about trying to save somebody from killing himself. That's
Yeah,
what I was thinking of when I was,
that's what I
writing the
that's what
song.
I thought. Plus the title, knowing that you're there,
Right.
and the video, he's sleeping. So yeah, it's a pretty cool music video. So I think that Greg really captured the essence of that song
I
on that
agree.
music video, that visualizer video. So the artwork for the album is pretty interesting. Here we have that. So the album, I haven't said the album title, is Molded by Broken Hands. So tell me a little bit about this artwork and what the idea for this artwork was.
Well, it's another Travis Smith cover. We've worked with Travis now for 15 years or so. He's done everything for us for the last 15 years, and we'll always work with him. This one, I love this cover. It's striking to me. So, it's kind of plays off the title track a little bit. And if people listen to the record and check out the lyrics, they'll probably have an idea of what the cover kind of, what the symbols mean and all this and that. Symbolism. I can't even speak right now.
Symbolism.
Symbolism, Jesus mercy. Things of that nature. But the black and white, I just love the way it looks, and the record itself, the vinyl record itself, matches it, and it just looks really awesome as a package, complete package.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll post the link so people that want to get the physical copies will get them, because yeah, it's cool. So let's talk about the different type of vocals that you did on this one. When you're working on the record, uh, when you're like, how do you decide like vocally what you want to do? Because there's a lot of different vocal styles here. So yeah, that's pretty that I enjoyed, because I gave it like my friend. I have a friend that reviews with me, Señorita Sabrosura, that she says there's a lot of layers. So there's a lot of layers with the different vocals on this one.
Yeah, there's the harmonies with the clean vocals. I usually only do one track unless I'm doing a harmony. So those clean vocals are just the one track, and the vocal harmony, and the death metal vocals are just basically one track too. So, but as far as how I come up with that, like we'll have riffs, and we'll jam, and I will just go up to the mic and excuse me, just sing gibberish, kind of made up words in a vocal line. I'll just try to come up with vocal lines, and I'll know, I'll experiment. Does this part call for a clean vocal? Does this part call for a death vocal? What's the song in general? What's the vibe of the song, the overall song? So I'll have a certain riff and a vocal idea in my mind, but it might not be the one that I pick once the whole song is written, because it might not work with the rest of the song. So it's kind of like waiting for everything to fall into place, and then taking it from there, vocal wise. But in general, I kind of have ideas before I start writing lyrics. I know exactly like melodies and where I want to go, what style.
Yeah, I think the one that has the correct me if I'm wrong, but the one that I think has the clean vocals that I compared that it had like a southern thing. What is it? I can hear your voice because now I can't remember because I listen and sometimes I'm listening, not looking at the track.
Yeah, that one I could hear that. I could hear what you're saying on that one. Yeah, yeah. That one is yeah, I like that one too, vocal wise.
So yeah, so tell me, when you're doing this album, the production, like for you, like was this inspired in part like by everything that's happened these 4 years for the band, or what inspires you when you're going write lyrics for this project in particular?
The last couple of records have been more I don't want to say current events, but I've you have your finger on a pulse of what's going on in the world and such, and it would be hard to not um not try to reflect some of those things in lyrics, especially when you're writing personal things. There's a lot of things that you see in the world or in the country that that is going a little wacky, and things are a little crazy right now. You know the election coming up is these are two 95-year-old men. This it's crazy. I think it's a crazy time we're in right now. This is not even that. It's just the whole there's something that happened like maybe 10 years ago or something where everything's gone down a little bit. And for if you're writing lyrics, it's easy pickings right now. You can just choose whatever you want to write about, and there's usually some bad shit.
Yeah, there's usually something happening that that can inspire lyrics. And so yeah, so to me the album, yeah, I felt like all the songs kind of like go into each other, but I don't think it's not like a concept record per se, right?
No, not at all. They're all separate tracks.
Yeah.
They all pretty much deal with different themes. And just going back, you said earlier about how the lead single was the last song on the record. That's kind of that's a weird thing, I think. You usually don't have the last song on the record be the first single on the record. So it's not a concept. It's just each song can be the first song on the record has strings, and so does knowing
Yeah.
that you're there. So I wanted to bookend the record with the two songs that have the epic strings on them. So while not a concept album, it may have been put together songs in order to sound as good as possible. The concept isn't in the themes, but maybe more in the placing of the songs in the order.
Yeah, it's important. I think the last song as an album closer, it really does is place, and A Twisted Place in Time is a great opener. So it's important to have a great opener, a great closer. Obviously, bands, that doesn't mean that the rest of the album is
Sure.
shit. It needs to be
Right.
shit. Bands will be like, oh, we just need one strong opener and one strong closer and just some filler in the
All
middle.
killer, no filler.
So,
That's what you gotta
yeah,
do, right?
yeah, no, yeah, this album, it's 7 tracks, and I also, you have like a shorter track like Cracks in Time, which is like a 4.5 minute song, because like almost all the other songs are 6.5 minutes, so they're long tracks. There's a lot of like doomy stuff on this record, doom metal on the record per se. But yeah, I think that every song, even though it's not a concept, I think there's a good flow to the record. That's what I'm
Right.
trying to say.
Right. And that was in the construction of the way we place the songs, the order. There's also an eighth song that's a bonus track that's going to be on the CD, and you probably didn't get to hear that one, but that one is from these sessions we had it being on the record. And for the vinyl, it would have been too long for a single vinyl and too short for a double vinyl. You can't spend all this money on double vinyl unless you fill those two
Oh yeah.
records up. You know what I mean? So it would have been too too short for a double vinyl, and it kills me because um the song is really good. It's called Severing the Soul, and it kills me because like I want people to hear that one. It's one of the stronger songs, and I think we'll get out there. But like I said, it's bonus track on a CD. Once it comes out, I'm sure it'll get around. But so there is an eighth song, and
Yeah, I didn't get to hear that one.
looking forward to that. Yeah, I guess it doesn't go out with the review copies, since it's CD only. I guess considering the vinyl is the official record. I guess that's how it's
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah,
it's
I
looked
know,
at.
I know what you mean. Because for one song extra, having like to pay extra, yeah, I know what you mean. So, Molded by Broken Hands, it was recorded and engineered at Benegroff at the Thousand Capes by Colin Marston, who also performed keyboards on some of the songs for No Place of Sorrow, I Can Hear Your Voice. So,
Mhm.
tell us about having Colin, like not only producing but also playing on the record.
Well, Colin is, he's like a mastermind. He's in this band Krallis. He's in
Mhm.
Dysrhythmia. He's in Gorguts.
And Artificial
Excuse me.
Brain, yeah, he's in a few bands. Yeah.
Well, he's not an artificial brain, but he recorded those guys.
Okay.
But he's a keyboard player. Go look up Krallis at St. Vitus Bar, and he plays keyboards for hours on some of these videos. He's awesome, and we were like, this could use something here, and he's got all these vintage keyboards set up in the studio, and he's like, "How's this sound?" We're like, "Oh shit, that sounds great. You can leave that." So that's how that came about. It's more of a whereas Craig, when he was in the band, was more of a predominant instrument where the keyboards were featured. Now since there's no more keyboard player, it's and when we use Colin, it's kind of just like a sprinkling on kind of thing. There's like a little
Mhm.
addition. So and I think in the future, if we use keyboards, that's how it would be, like more of like I can't even think of the word, just more like extra instead of
Like
just something on top of everything instead of just with everything.
yeah, it sounds like you're serving ice cream, like on top. Like,
Right. I don't know how to but that's how I feel. Sprinkles and shit, like
a
just
little bit of sprinkles
a
of
little dash,
some
just
keywords on that
yeah, a
shit.
little
Yeah.
dash of keyboards here and there.
Yeah.
That's what it calls for.
That
You know,
that sounds good. So, and also the album was mixed and mastered, by a legendary Swedish producer. I don't know
correct.
Dan Swano.
Swano, yeah, that's how we
Yeah,
say it
he's worked
here.
with Opeth, Edge of Sanity, Bloodbath.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. So the album sonically, because I already listened to it, except the bonus track that I didn't get to hear, sounds sonically great. Very lush. Like I said, I like the different styles of vocals because sometimes there's bands that if you have like the same type of vocals on all the songs, at least for me, can get repetitive.
Yeah, I could hear that, man. I
Yeah,
could
so
totally,
I like
yeah.
I like the variation here because it has some differences. So let's go back to, you're releasing this and then you have the 25th anniversary of your debut record. So how's that gonna be like celebrating your debut record also and also having this new one?
Well, this new one, we're hoping does okay. So people will be introduced. They'll go back to hear the old stuff. Because this is our sixth album, and we have 3 EPs, and we have a 7-inch. We have a bunch of stuff that people can go check out. But we need this one too. This is our first album on a legit label like Profound Lore, and
And
we're
also the first record release for Profound Lore this year.
that was in the notes, but there was a release this past Friday. Theophonos,
God
uh,
damn it. They
crazy black metal.
they need
Yeah,
to revise these notes.
I got the vinyl over there, but yeah, but we got
Well, you can claim that you're the second.
second, and not only that, the catalog number is PL-313. So that's besides 666, that's the best 3-digit number you can get. 313 typo negative kind
Yeah.
of thing. So that's cool. That's kind of, I'll take that. But yeah, this is an honor to be on that label. It's a great label. The other band, Reeking Auras, on that label. We love it. So we would really appreciate fans of let's say My Dying Bride or Catatonia or Opeth or any kind of like melodic, somber, I don't know, any kind of stuff European tinged, to check us out, and we'd really need that. We're actually having a listening party on Bandcamp on February 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you have a Bandcamp account, which most people do if you're into underground music, underground metal, you just sign up for the listening party. It's February 22nd, and we're going to play the whole record straight through a couple weeks before it comes out. So give people the opportunity to listen to it, and hopefully pick up some vinyl or CD. So that's coming up. And later in the year, we're going to go back and re-record 2 songs from the first album. There's a song called The Purest Form, which is the first song. And there's a song called Athena. And we're going to do both of those songs.
Awesome.
And put them out digitally. We don't really think a 7-inch would be viable. And since it's only 2 songs, physical options are kind of limited. So digital will be cool. And we're going to really, do it up. Like The Purest Form is the song that kind of people know us for back 100 years ago, because it was on some compilations, and it had when we played Milwaukee in 99 and 2000, that was the song. But we're gonna redo that song, kind of a stripped down death metal version of it. And the Athena we're gonna kind of do up with Craig. He's gonna come back and guest on keyboards for that one. And we're gonna have some
awesome.
Too, yeah. So he'll come back for that song. And we actually played live in September of 2022 with Oceans of Slumber at St. Vitus Bar, and Craig played.
I remember when we last talked, you were about to play that show, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that must have been right around then. And Craig came up and played 2 songs. So we bring him back for special occasions, and it's like what do you call it, like Mickey Mantle, when the Yankees used to bring him back every couple, for this and that, they would bring him back here and there for Old Timers Day or whatever. That's what Craig, and he makes our videos, so he's really really good for us. Comes in.
That's a good thing, because sometimes when people leave bands, there's a lot of animosity and people like bitching and complaining, but it sounds like you guys stayed friends. You just do different things, but you still collaborate and support each other. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've been friends since we were 15, 14 years old, and we're almost 50 now, so it's insane to think about.
We don't have to tell our age.
I mean, if you put 2 and 2 together, band's been 25 years putting out records. I can't be that young.
Yeah, it is crazy when you put out the first record. Obviously, the metal scene was very different 25 years ago, because 25 years ago, it was new metal was reigning king at that moment. 99, it's all, it was Limp Bizkits, the Corns, Slipknot, the Family Values tour. So yeah, it was kind of different. So maybe when you guys came out at that moment, like the metal scene is very different from then to now. I think that now
we got a better shot.
There's so many styles now. There's too many styles.
and like even back then, though, when things weren't great for metal, this is true. We were lucky in that we knew a guy named Don Decker that would he put us on the Milwaukee Metal Fest. And we would for 3 years play Milwaukee Metal Fest with Opeth, and we would play with Catatonia, we played with In Flames, and we would play for all these bands right before them. Their first shows in America, Opeth, we played right before Catatonia. It was Catatonia, it was us, Catatonia, Opeth. So we were doing that. Nice. And I'm 20. So when other people were struggling with new metal, and Gray Skies was able to play these legendary shows in the underground, and where it was still big. You know, these metal fests that were in Milwaukee, and even though metal was down, there were thousands of people there. New Jersey, they had the March Metal Meltdown, three or four of them, packed out all the time for underground death metal, underground thrash, doom, death, you know, whatever it was. So it was still alive. It was just being overshadowed by all the mainstream stuff. But the underground was always there, and we
Yeah.
were able to benefit in the beginning. So now we're just trying to catch up to where we were 25 years ago.
Yeah, but then everything went, new metal also went full circle, like it going down in popularity. But what's funny now is that now, like, I think all the styles of metal have been appreciated because there's like a new metal resurgence with your bands, and it's being, I think there's room for everything.
Sure.
I just
There's
think that
millions of bands.
back in 1999, they just wanted to focus on something. But I think that right now, I think people are, metal, I think they're accepting different styles. I think it's good. I like variation. I like listening to different styles of metal. Just as long as I like it, I'm okay with that. Plus, you're wearing the cap backwards. So
Oh yeah, the
people know
red
you will
cap,
think like, oh,
Red Durst. Yeah. No, 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 no.
He doesn't even wear the red cap anymore.
Yeah, I gotta watch. You know, wearing a red cap these days. This is a Yankees cap. This is a New York Yankees hat.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I wear.
No, dude. Yeah, it's playing all fun. We're having fun here. So
yeah, of course.
Exciting times for the band. So right now, how do you think the state of metal is right now in 2024?
I think it's very strong. The platform that bands have and things like Bandcamp and Spotify and all that stuff it makes it easy, relatively speaking, to get your stuff out there. You know, talk about 1996 when this band started. Like, you were still making demo tapes and handing them out at shows. You know, going to shows with a box of demos, and that's the only way people would hear your band. You know, it's so much different now. It's like a different world. But yeah, I kind of lost track of your question.
That's okay. It's late at night. It happens.
I've been up since 3:45 in the morning. It's been a long day, but I love it. Oh yeah, metal scene. No, with the availability of all this stuff and bands, there's so many bands now, and they're really good. There's a lot of really good bands. The first band that's opening the show at St. Vitus on Tuesday or Wednesday is a good band, so they all bring it. And there's in New York, there's a strong scene of all kind of metal, and it's cool that I'm friends with a lot of those guys in all these bands, and we're all kind of helping each other out, and that's what your scene is supposed to do. Bands help each other, people help each other, but overall, if you come to New York, you're going to see a good metal show any night of the week, really. So I think it's good to metal today.
Oh yeah, New York, you have a lot of stuff and vibrant scene. So yeah, it's a cool place to catch metal bands. There's a lot of metal bands coming out, and they're being successful. Like I think there's one called Imperial Triumphant, if I'm not mistaken. They're from New York, and they're pretty big. They wear like masks and stuff. But I've also interviewed some thrash metal bands from New York. There's one that I had on the channel called Electrocutioner. So it's exciting times for bands. So
yeah.
Yep. So besides the single that is there any other single that you're thinking of releasing prior to the release?
There was a single. Yeah, last week it came out. It was the Cracks in Time single, which Craig also did the visualizer video for that as well. So that's the second one, and that video is also sick. I don't know if you saw that one, but it's
I didn't see that one.
Somebody was like,
yeah.
This one is more like a fantasy setting, like a fantasy war setting, and
I saw the picture. There's like it looks like something like Lord of the Rings,
like a demon. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
right. Somebody said, "Is this Game of Thrones?" So somebody said in the comments.
no, it kind of looked more like a Lord of the Rings type of thing.
Right.
I could see why people Game of Thrones, but I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings was first than Game of Thrones.
Sure. Yeah,
This
of
was
course. I mean,
written
yeah, by 70 years or something.
by
Yeah.
70 years, and unlike the series, all of the Lord of the Rings movies are great.
They
the,
end
the
well,
Game of
right?
Thrones series, the last season was pure shit. So
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that was a weird ending to. I don't remember. I remember a castle falling on somebody. There was like the castle fell on top of somebody and killed them, and yeah, it was some crazy shit.
Spoiler alert for people who haven't seen it. But at least you
Yeah,
didn't see that a castle fell on somebody. Reviews by
yeah,
Rick.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it looks
Castle
like
fell on somebody, and somebody blew up. Somebody burned to death. That's what happened.
somebody burned. That's a great recap. So it's
Yeah.
something like that happened. So yeah, you're having the album on, you said February 22nd is gonna be the
Right.
Bandcamp listening. So yeah, people, at what time is it gonna be? Like 8 p.m. Eastern time?
8 p.m. Eastern. It's a Thursday night, so it's a good night to just chill home for an hour, listen to the record.
Are you gonna be
Well,
like answering Q&A for the
yeah,
fans?
yeah, yeah. There's a chat box there. So this is the first time we're doing this, just to see how it goes. Label's interested to see how it goes too. So I don't think they've ever done one before, but it's a cool feature that Bandcamp offers. If you have a couple hundred people in the room listening to the music at the same time, it's kind of a cool vibe.
That's
So
word of mouth too, because they're gonna tell their
right,
friends like, "Hey,
exactly.
the
I
new
heard this
Gray
band.
Sky's falling. It's awesome,"
Right.
and they're gonna and
That's
yeah,
what we hope happens.
I think yeah, Bandcamp. I have Bandcamp too. I don't find it that easy to use as a Spotify, but it's really good for bands with
Yeah.
the things they do, the Bandcamp Fridays, and obviously I didn't know that they had those listening parties.
That
That's
might be a new thing. I just became made aware of it recently, so it might be a new kind of thing that they offer. But
yeah,
it's definitely
and
cool.
you and I being more in the like
Upper echelon of
upper
years.
40s, we
Yeah.
remember when like MySpace was a
Oh, yeah.
place for bands to put new music in.
MySpace was good, man. MySpace was good for us for a couple years. Like we were playing some local shows, but they were like packed out, and it was
Yeah,
from MySpace, and
they
it
were
was
good. Plus,
yeah,
Tom was your friend. He
yeah,
didn't ban you for a month if you did something that they
yeah.
didn't like.
It was the innocent days of social media before
Yeah,
all the shit hit the fan.
it,
And
it
it was easy for people. People got in touch with the bands easier. It seemed like a more open-ended, communication. It was cool. It had a cool vibe, and Facebook just is so brutal. And all these other ones are just, unless you have a huge following, which we don't have. You're reaching out and hoping that your post reaches some eyes. So it's kind of like a
but the
whatever.
good
But
thing
hey,
is, the last time we talked, my channel wasn't as big as now. I have more than 1,000 subscribers now.
it's
So
awesome,
yeah,
dude. Congrats.
it's been awesome. It's been growing, and I
Great.
keep interviewing bands, and I'm glad I get to talk to you again. Uh,
Yes.
and also Greg, like maybe you should join Greg and me for like I don't know if you've seen this new series I have that is called "Is It That Bad?"
I have not, but yes, Craig was so he was. Oh, that was you. Okay, was it
We did the
the
Roger
Pink Floyd, the
Waters
Roger Waters?
Redux of Dark Side of the Moon, and we
Did you do
also
Alien
did
3?
the what?
Did you do one on Alien 3 with him also, or the movie
No,
Alien 3?
no, we talked about Alien Free when I
Okay.
first interviewed him.
Okay, that's what it was. He loves that movie. That's his favorite movie ever. That Alien
Oh yeah,
3.
we went
Alien
into
3.
we we went into detail why Alien Free is Greg's favorite movie.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, and we also did an Is It That Bad for Judas Priest Nostradamus. So it's
Oh,
pretty cool.
okay, that's right.
Like
That's
what we
cool.
do in those episodes is I have like a panel guest and we talk about albums that basically people like complained that were bad or got like mixed reviews, and we listen to them again and we pick out the weakest tracks and stuff, and we vote at the end if it's that bad or not, and people seem to enjoy it.
Did you
It's
do
a lot of
Cold Lake? Did you do Cold Lake yet?
no, I haven't done that one.
That might be a good one to do because that's the ultimate, derided metal album of all time, right? That Celtic Frost Cold Lake with Tom G. Warrior selling out and doing pop music.
I haven't done that one, so maybe
Go on the list.
maybe you and Greg can join me for that one. Although I think Greg actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think he likes that record. So I'm not. I don't know.
I haven't heard it in 25 years. I would have to.
I don't know if it was him but yeah, that would be a cool one to do. I haven't listened to it ever, so yeah, it would be a cool one. So yeah, that would be a cool episode. So now that when you put out the album on March 8th, what are what can people expect from Gray Skies Falling in the couple of months?
Well, as of right now, we don't really have we don't really have a slate of shows booked, which is to my chagrin. I would prefer, having some things booked, but I also think that we got to wait until this record comes out because we haven't been a band that tours. We play shows here and there, and back in the day, we were lucky enough to play festivals, and that's what we're hoping to happen again. But I would like this album to open some doors for us, hopefully to play some of these fests. Knock on wood, and I would also love to do some shorter kind of like regional tours if possible, bands going through the East Coast, or we could do 6-7 days, that would be something that we've never done before that we can probably pull off now. So again, nothing is really in the books, but I could see things changing once the record comes out, once maybe interest in the band picks up a little bit. I haven't seen any reviews for the album yet, so it hasn't even started yet, so hopefully once those things start kicking in, the interest will kick in on that part. We'll get some gigs, but we're also going to be doing those 2 songs for the commemoration for the 25th anniversary of the debut. In addition, we're already writing for the next record, so we're not going to sit around and wait for gigs to come, and pray that some amazing tour comes our way. Whatever, we're gonna move forward. And I hope to have a record written by the end of the year, the whole thing. And it's already starting to look good. We're already cranking stuff out, and I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. So this is going to be a packed year, regardless if we're out on the road or not.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm sure Bandcamp and that can help. Plus, yeah, so I'm glad to promote the band by interviewing bands, and glad to talk to you again, because I remember when I saw you, I'm like, yeah, that Rick Aura interview was a good one.
Yeah, that's we had Big Will with us that night.
And we talked all about we talked about plants for 40 minutes almost.
Oh yeah. That's maybe more of the same when we get ready to do the next Rick Aura record in a few months, later in the year, actually. So maybe we could come back on with Big Will for that one.
Yeah,
because that record is going to be nice too. That's a totally different band, like you said.
No, it's totally different. It's a totally different vibe. Rick Aura from Gray Skies Falling. It's a totally different band, but I think that's good, because what's worse than having someone that's in multiple bands if they all sound the same?
Sound the same. What's the point? What's the point of that? I can think of a couple off the top of my head. But also, speaking of Rick Aura and Gray Skies Falling, Tom Ander, our bass player, he's in both bands with me. So awesome. He's in both bands. So yeah, we're kind of incestuous, like in all our friends' bands. There's guys that jam with each other, help out in this band and that band. That's how it goes. So
yeah. So you heard it here. The album is out on March the 8th, and it's not the first, but the second release for Pro Records this year. So it's not the first, but it's the second. Whatever. The important thing that it's gonna be out. The band is celebrating 25 years. And we gotta support underground bands because sometimes and many times a lot of the underground bands have some great, amazing music that sometimes a lot of people don't get to fucking hear. So
Yeah, there's
I'm
more
glad that
substance.
yeah, I'm glad I get to interview bands and I get to listen to so much music come my
That's awesome.
way. So it's interesting because I do have an ear in the underground of what else is like. Obviously, I also review like albums that I know that get attention and mainstream. But I like listening to like newer stuff or things that are more like you have to dig deeper the underground. So, Rick, I want to thank you, for taking some time of your night to chat with me again.
And
It
thank
was
you, man. I really appreciate you having me.
yeah, great seeing you again. And
Absolutely.
hopefully I'll see you guys again and think about it for an episode of Is It That Bad because they're really fun to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna check those out that you do with Craig, and
Yeah,
maybe in
check those out and you'll get a vibe of what the whole vibe is about.
sure, I could throw you a short list of maybe another few of possible good ideas for that too, because
Yeah.
there's some good records that people for years have kind of shit upon, and
Yeah, because
sometimes
on that series, there's some records that we said like no, they're not as bad as people claim.
right, yeah,
There's some that no, clearly they're bad. But yeah, it's
yeah,
interesting.
a record comes out and it's not anywhere near as good as the band's previous stuff, and then it gets the bad reputation, and then for 20 years it's the horrible album. It's that horrible
Yeah.
album, but it's pretty good.
Something that I've also seen, Rick, is that people complain about it. Like if they put out an album that they all sound like the same, like an AC/DC. Some people say like they all sound the same, but I kid you not. If AC/DC put out an album that didn't sound like
Like Dream Theater, it
AC/DC,
sounded like Dream Theater.
people would be pissed. Like
Yeah,
uh
that's true.
it's true.
That's
And then you have
comfort food,
bands that every record kind of sounds different.
right?
Uh, so so yeah, and people like can complain because they all put like for example, someone like a Devin Townsend, all his records sound different. And people, can expect it, but if like a band
Slight,
try something like a band, like a mainstream band, try something a little bit different, and people hate it. Like,
right?
like when Metallica,
Right. I was just
when
thinking that.
like people lost their minds. So, yeah,
I was just
you
thinking
you
that.
can't please everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And you might lose 2/3 of your fan base. You might alienate people. People are weird, man.
No,
They love their band. They
yeah,
love that
there's more
band.
records. Like for example, Weezer's Pinkerton, their second album. When it came out, I think people didn't like it that much, and now
Regarded,
it's heralded as a
right?
classic Weezer album. So so you never know. So Rick, again, thank you for joining me. And
Thank
the
you, Hector.
album is gonna be out. I'm gonna show the artwork again. Here it has Gray Skies Falling, molded by Broken Hands, out on March the 8th. So I'm gonna put the links for everyone who want to pre-order the vinyl can do so. And please support Gray Skies Fallen. If you like all the bands that we've been discussing, I think you will dig Gray Skies Fallen. It's got different vocals on it. There's doom, there's progressive sides to the band. There's a little bit of death metal. There's a little bit of everything in the record that I think a lot of people can enjoy. So yeah,
I
check it out.
appreciate that. Yeah, we
Yeah.
like to mix it all up, man.
That's how life should be. A huge mixing of, just as long as it's good. Because people get afraid, like, oh my God, but
Too
I've
much.
never understood, like, oh my God, they're doing clean singing. Like, metal started with clean singing. Like,
Yeah,
what's wrong with
that's
clean
right.
singing and understanding what is being sung? It's not like
And
they
done
sound like,
well. If it's
yeah, yeah, just as long as you don't
sometimes
sound like
people want
Richard Marx.
very heavy vocals.
Exactly, they're still heavy. So people, check out the Bandcamp.
I'm gonna go for next time.
Yeah, man. So people, until next time, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you
Salud.
and good night.